Hey y'all. Welcome back to It's Been a Journey podcast. This is your girl Chanel, and I'm back in the building. Okay. Look, I took a 2 weeks vacation, not because I wanted to, because I was sick. Okay. But tonight, I'm not going to prolong the time. Look, I just want to say welcome back to It's Been a Journey podcast where healing, truth, and transformation meet. I'm your host, Chanel, and today's episode is entitled Relationship or Rehab. hmm Listen, this one is going to hit deep. We also have an incredible guest today, and I want y'all to welcome my daughter is back to hang out with me, y'all. So give it a round up for Cherrell. Woo!
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Look, she just getting all work. I told her put some lip gloss on or something. You-
It
Look,
is what it is today, baby. Now,
look,
I was cute and professional and put together last time.
right.
Today, we just here.
Yeah, look, I'm telling you, because what's so funny about it is I get on them by earrings. I carry earrings in my purse. Okay. My grandbaby, even when she got ready to graduate, sweet, I need some earrings. And I had switch purses. I was like, Lord have mercy. But listen, thank you, Shanrell, for coming hang out with me. I think she's gonna hang out about 2 or 3 episodes, y'all. We got some good stuff. Next week, we're gonna talk about who fooling who. Meaning, sometimes gaslighting can people that do gaslighting can make you feel like you the gaslighter.
Exactly,
Mm.
like you the one with the lighter fluid.
Oh my goodness. They act like you the one with the lighter fluid when they all the time blowing up stuff. Have you
Exactly.
walking around crazy, crippled. But tonight we are talking about relationship or rehab. Okay. We are talking about that because maybe you're being used instead of love. And you know something? Now, I want to make sure y'all understand that I am talking about things that I've been through and maybe my daughter been through. We're not so much as talking about you. But if the shoe fit,
Exactly. Where is Cinderella?
we ain't calling your name. What right? What's Cinderella?
Where is Cinderella?
Where's Cinderella? Because everybody on here is not a person that's being used or coming around only when they need. Some of y'all are the ones that coming around when needed. It's just the truth,
Uh-huh.
ain't it?
Uh-huh.
Everybody, we want to listen. That's me. That's how they do me. And then, but really, they look into it and be like, no, no,
No,
that's you.
there's you.
So,
Because if everybody is a victim, there's no suspect. So you can't have all victims. You
ooh,
gotta have a
right.
suspect.
That's what they call it, defended and I
Plaintiff.
don't
You can't
plaintiff
defend if
and a
you ain't got nothing to complain about.
right. So listen, this episode is for the ones who gave too much, stayed too long, is not, and now wondering what if they call love was really just emotional prison. Okay. But don't worry, we're going to break it down. We're going to call it out. We're going to help you just like it helped me.
Us.
Mm, us. Right. So listen, we're going to kick it off. I'm going to throw some things out. I'm going to see what Sherelle feel about it. We got 7 ways someone may be using you instead of loving you. And number one, we're going to go straight from the dome. They only show up when there's a crisis.
Mm.
What that mean? Okay, muscle man. Give it up for
So
my
they only
man.
show up when there's a crisis. So normally, I'm gonna speak in our term now because we got this thing now called ghosting, right?
Uh-huh.
So say for instance, you and this guy or you and this girl, y'all been chopping it up, everything been peaches and cream, and then out of nowhere you don't hear from them.
Mm-hmm.
But
Ghost.
then 3, 4 months later, they hit you up. And it's, man, my car broke down, man, or yeah, I messed my car up, it's in the shop, and I really don't know how I'm gonna get the money, or I don't know how I'm gonna get to work. And then guess what? We, as loving people as we are, and I'm saying we because everyone is included,
Right. Everyone is included.
we go and we help. We go and we drive. We lend. We let them borrow. We let them
Mm-hmm.
give. We let them do this. We let them do that. And they there. They give you everything that you think you need.
Mm-hmm.
They calling you every day, text messages, picking you up and work on time in your car, or putting a little extra gas in it. Everything going good until that car come out the shop.
And and let me tell you something. It don't even have to be in a y'all can be in a platonic relationship.
Sure
This could
can.
even be family, y'all. We
Yes,
talking
ma'am.
about relationship, whether someone or love you or they just with you because they need you. And I remember when I first got married to my husband now, I made sure I do not want you to need me. And he was like,
Yep.
why is that? Because when you need someone, when it don't go your way, you be distraught, despair, you be upset. When you need someone, that means I could control your emotion.
Yeah.
My
And then on
no
the
could
other
hurt
side of
you.
that, I don't want you to need me because you only with me because you need me.
Right, right. Kim Yada, I'm so glad you put that up there. Let me tell you, I know God is real. For I can
Because ain't
feel.
no because I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with someone that need me because sometimes people feel like, oh, if they need me, they love me. Or oh, I'm with them because they need me. You want to feel needed, you want to feel wanted, you want to feel like,
Mm-hmm.
you saving somebody. And the whole
Mm-hmm.
time you saving them, you drowning yourself.
Right. Hey, thank y'all, Nikki, for being on here. Kim Yada, thank y'all for coming. Make sure you like, comment, and share. But Kim Yada, I'm glad you put that because I'm gonna give y'all a definition after these seven of rescuer syndrome. Didn't
Uh-huh.
know it was. I call it a super saver. Y'all need to go back
Yeah.
to my earlier episode
I should
when I
say it
said
wasn't even
birth of a
saying.
super saver. Yep. When I said birth of a super saver, I called it that, but legally term, they call it rescuer syndrome, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that person only come around when there's a crisis, meaning, Lord, my light bill. I know who gonna give it to me.
Uh-huh.
I know, let me tell y'all something. Lord, I'm finna confess. No, I ain't. But anyway, yeah, God had threw that in the sea of forgiveness to remember it no more.
Well, my C ain't that far go. You'll have somebody that you ain't talked to in 20 odd years.
Right.
Magically blossom and find your number, reach you. Now, they ain't talked to you in umpteen years,
Mm-hmm.
but they found your number right now because I really, really, really need it. And I didn't know who else to call. Well, you had to call somebody to get my number.
So you felt like they should
So
have
you
hit them up
skip
first.
them. you skip who you called to get my number to ask me.
Right.
Or you skip, I ain't gonna say that because it might be some people on here that do that. You skip the person who got stamps that could give you something to come to somebody that don't have stamps because you know I'm gonna give it to you.
Right.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then guess what we do? Yeah,
Look,
girl, if I got it, you got it, girl.
yeah, I got
We
it.
right there
And you don't hear
together.
from them no more. They call that a monitoring spirit. You don't hear from them no more. Y'all, this ain't just relationship. This is life, period. You have people that will only show up, hold a full conversation. You already know my apostle and my prophet is my pastors. They say it. They'll get on the phone. They will say a whole synopsis or whatever they call it, introduction. Hey, how you doing, girl? I ain't heard from you. And your spirit already told you they need a couple dollars. And you
Uh-huh.
just be waiting on it. You be waiting. Instead of saying, "No, I ain't got it." I'm telling you now, you want to see somebody hot, let them usually get it from you, and they can't get it
And
no
you
more.
don't.
That's money. That's rabbit, squirrel. I don't know what y'all call it, monkey.
All
Yeah.
good.
Just say no and see what happened when they
Yeah,
used to
sure.
get it from you. You can't wake up. You know how they got this thing now. Get woke or be woke. Get woke. You'll see the true colors. Number two, I need a dollar. My husband said, look,
I'm
number two, your boundaries are always negotiable. What you feel about it?
gonna speak for me
Mm-hmm.
because I can only speak for me. Anybody that know me, they know my husband. You never really so much see me. If you don't see my husband, you
Mm-hmm.
always pretty much gonna see us together. Me and my husband been together 17 years, been married 15. So I can speak on me. Some people may say I am a very hard woman. Some people that you may see or talk to. But I got my boundaries about me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I got into a relationship, I didn't know how to keep those boundaries because
Mm-hmm.
I felt like my boundaries was what was messing everything up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, he don't
Mm.
like that, or he don't want to do that,
Mm.
regardless of how it affected me and my
Mm.
boundaries. I will put my boundaries to the side because I don't want no ruffles. I don't want no, I
Mm.
don't want to shake the table, as K Michelle said on hip hop, love hip hop.
Mm.
But then what I realized was I became a shell of myself, walking on eggshells about my boundaries because I didn't want to make him upset.
Let me tell you something. And shout out to my son. He on here. I don't call him my son-in-law. My son, he's supporting his wife tonight. Look, he put them eyes up. Let you know I'm watching and listening. But let me tell you something. So it's an instant that I had that too, where I was so miserable because you be walking on eggshell. But what's so crazy? Not because of them, your own
Your
boundaries.
own. It's your own.
It's your own.
Now,
You
this is the
scared to
thing.
execute it.
Right, this is the thing. Now, let me put this out here. He didn't force me to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even ask me to put
Mm-hmm.
my boundaries to the side. He just
Ooh.
said, this is what I like. This is what I want to do. And guess what I said? Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Because I didn't want to trouble the water. But guess what ended up happening, y'all? Anybody that know me know. The water was troubled anyway. I still, I took the table myself because it became a place of resentment for me
Mm-hmm.
against him when the only person I really could blame was me.
Look, if y'all don't get this tea and send it to your friend, I'm sipping on some. I don't know what kind of tea my husband got me tonight, but let me tell you something. Did y'all hear what she said? He didn't ask me to put my boundaries to the side.
Mm-mm.
I put it to the side, but had resentment because I did it.
I did. Because in my head, I had told myself I did it for him. No, because he didn't ask for that.
He didn't ask.
Because guess what? When I finally did come back and say, well, no, I ain't like that. I ain't feeling it. Now, I did have to explain because, mind you, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
say nothing in the beginning.
Mm. Go
So it
ahead,
wasn't
girl.
an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So now he looking at me like, well, it wasn't an issue then.
It's an issue now.
So how is it an issue now?
Yeah, because
So,
people
mm,
don't understand. That's go back to that episode when we had look, y'all need to go back. Y'all need to just go back and take some days and listen because them episodes we were talking about uh boundaries and who you are and birth of a super save. When she said that her mom, I'm her mother. If just in case y'all did not know, and her other mother is on here, Miranda. Shout out to Miranda on here.
hey, ma.
That's her father's wife. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there's times when are they meeting? That's the question we had in the episode before. Are they meeting the real you? Do
Mm-hmm.
are you introducing them to you? Or are you introducing them to the person you want them to love?
Exactly.
That's where the boundaries knock down. And I could take it further. Me being in my 50s, we really didn't have boundaries when we was younger. Nope, because the neighborhood could tell you what to do, the mama could tell you what to do, everybody around the corner could tell you. It wasn't no. It wasn't no, I ain't feel like it wasn't you see what I'm saying? So I had to learn what boundaries was, right? And Miranda says some women sometimes do hold back when they get into a relationship. And
Yeah.
that's true. They hold back because they don't want to trouble the water. But let me tell you what happened if you stay there long enough. It's gonna be
Hmm.
trouble anyway. Now
The war. Didn't I
you know,
just say I shook the table myself?
I don't know if you're gonna be
Because
side
it
over
came
there.
down to the why. It came down to something going on that
Hmm.
tipped that scale just a
Hmm.
tad bit too much. And that man got more than what was owed to him.
Hmm.
Because now I'm off the handle. As my mama
Hmm.
say, smell crackle pop. We
Snack
fighters because my
a
mama were fighters. Me and my husband, we do not fight, Lord, I thank you.
hallelujah.
But we can get to arguing around here. We
Right.
can get to arguing. And so, from his perspective,
Mhm,
he's looking at me like, well, why are you so upset? This is my first
mhm,
time ever hearing this.
Right.
Well, why you blowing it out of proportion? Now, mind you,
Mm-hmm.
we gonna get to it. But the
Mm-hmm.
gas lane thing my mama started off with. Now, to me, them sound like gaslighting words.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my mind, you should know I don't like it. I don't voice my disliking. Da 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 da. But did you stand on it?
No. Ooh, we did you stand on
I
it?
said it,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't stand on
You didn't. And that's one thing we have to understand, y'all.
it. Mm-hmm.
People will try you even if they're not trying to try you. If you
Yeah.
say something and you succumb to what you said at two, three, four times, then they don't think you hold your words hold weight. And my
Mm-mm.
grandmother always said, you are as good as your word. So when you tell someone your boundary and you constantly knock the fence down to let them come over there and stand on your grass when you told don't walk on the grass, when you get ready to pop off about them walking on the grass, they're gonna look at you like you crazy because you always let me walk on the grass
You
before. You
always let me
just
walk on
said
the grass.
I ain't
Regardless
get
of the
no
sign, you done see me walking the grass every day.
Ooh.
But today is the day you will see because I
Right,
walked in the grass.
right. Shout out to my pastor on here, Stephanie Saunders. I'm telling you, look,
Hey,
I just said
hey,
your name.
Sanders, how are you?
Yeah, I just said what you we was talking about one night. I told her I'm gonna have to do a podcast on that because it hit home so much. But now we mad at you because you stepping on the grass, but we allowed you to step on the grass the whole time, and we told you you'll get a fine, but we ain't never get a fine. Now we want to charge you the fine. You looking crazy like, but they ain't never
And
did
get
it
what?
before.
And now that we done went off, we got to backtrack now and do what we should have did from the beginning is lay those
Mm-hmm.
boundaries out, give the reasons for those boundaries, and then
Mm-hmm.
now we gonna have to coincide on them boundaries
Right.
because now I couldn't make no boundaries and then cross evils.
Mm, uh, period. Over with. Nope.
You can't put up your boundaries and say this is where I draw the line. This is my line in the sand, and
Mm-hmm.
think you could just walk out through this man's sandcastle,
Mm-mm.
walk out through this woman's sandcastle.
Mm-mm.
And even parents, my stepmom on here, she can vouch. My dad, my dad think because I'm his child, he can do whatever. Let him come over here and he can call me at the door, huh? You said what? I mean, you have to have boundaries, and boundaries don't mean that you have to be mean.
Right.
Boundaries don't mean that you have to treat people bad.
Mm-hmm.
Boundaries just means this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I would appreciate you to respect what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't respect what it is, I'll
Mm-hmm.
constantly remind you of what it is until we get it together and understand that this is what it is.
Right. Because my favorite thing, if you can't get right, you finna get left.
Right. You got to get going.
You gotta get because now I know who I am. And see, that's a lot of things in relationship or rehab. Anybody could be on any side of the corner at any given moment
Yeah.
because we both in this relationship. So if I get mad at you and you not treat me like I think you should treat me, then I see you constantly stuck in rehab mode like you need a psychiatrist. Now I'm mad at you and now I feel like I need a psychiatrist. So now you ready for a relationship, but now I'm in
I'm in
psychiatric mode.
rehab.
Yeah.
Now I
I'm
need
treating
help.
I'm now I'm treating you like you was treating me. That ain't right, y'all. But the truth is the truth, and it will
The
make
truth
you
is the
free.
truth. The
And
truth is
another
the truth.
thing, out of the 7 ways somebody could be using you instead of love, they gaslight you. They express concern, then they flip it. They flip it on you, and you be looking like, what just happened?
Mm-hmm.
What just
Mm-hmm.
what just went on right here? And let me tell you
Mm-hmm.
what it is. Before we get too far, what gaslighting is, if I could find it. Let me get down here. It is a psychological thing people use to manipulate a situation and in hindsight make you think you crazy.
Mm-hmm. How
That's
many
what
of
it is.
y'all that how many of y'all on the live just woke up feeling great, sunshiny day, everything sunshine and rainbows. You done woke up like Snow White's in the door's house, all the animals and everything. Right?
Mhm.
friend, neighbor. We talking about relationships. So this just don't mean your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife. It could be anybody that you're in some type of relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
And you do all the good stuff. And then your friend girl or somebody call you. Um, I need you to take me da 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 da. Okay, I can do that. You having a good day.
Mm-hmm.
You get in there, take friend girl the way you gonna take her.
Mm-hmm.
And while y'all riding, or your homeboy, whoever, your mama, your brother, your cousins, y'all riding, and then out of nowhere, you hear, why your car making that noise? Or why this, they doing a nitpick. That's what I call a
Mm-hmm.
nitpick.
Mm-hmm.
They just saying little stuff to you to just kind
Mm-hmm.
of eat at you a little bit because
Mm-hmm.
they in a
Kind of
bad
tap.
mood now.
Mm-hmm.
They don't woke up on the wrong side of the bed. So first thing might be something about your car. Then the next thing might be, oh, we gotta wait in this long line. Or, oh, can you take me here? Can you take me there? Can you do this? Can you do that? Now, mind you, all you supposed to be doing
It's dropping them off.
is just taking them here and coming back.
Right.
So now you're finally kind of aggravated, agitated, irritated with you.
Mm-hmm.
Then they turn around and look at you and say, well, what's wrong with you? Ain't nobody did nothing to you. What you upset for? Why you
Right.
looking like that? Because this 2 hours ago that I told you that I'm gonna take you somewhere and drop you off, and now we're going everywhere. And now you want to look at me asking why I'm upset. You just hijacked 2 hours of my day.
Right. And then they act like you did them wrong. I ain't gonna never ask her for a ride no
Then
more.
without that,
Because
you took it right out of my mouth.
baby, because I'm your mother. Okay.
Then
I ain't
they'll
gonna
look at you
never
and say, well, I ain't gonna ask you for no ride no more. Well,
thank
I
you.
know who I can depend on.
Mm-hmm.
I know who not to call next time.
And it make you
And
feel
now
some
you
type of
sitting there
way.
like, so I can't be bothered because I had another route for my day.
Right.
So now you
It will
feeling,
make you feel bad if you don't know who you are and finally coming to the know and the realization of who you are and what you stand for. That thing will pick at you all day long, and you're gonna end up calling them say, "But look, I did take you." And my pastor just said the other night, "You ain't got to explain yourself to nobody." But if
yeah,
you don't know who you are, you'll be
yeah,
explaining yourself, and they did you wrong by manipulating your time.
manipulating your time. Because mind you now, all of this could have been discussed on the initial conversation. Hey,
Exactly.
my car in the shop. I need to run around a little bit. You got enough
Hmm.
time in your day to day to carry me around and run some errands? That way you
Hmm.
can decide on if you want to do a day hijack or not. But
Hmm. Right.
instead, they ask you for one favor with 36 favors in their book bag.
Right.
But then when
Like
you feel some
Dora.
type of way about it, you the one that wrong. Now, they ain't gonna apologize for wasting your 2 hours. They ain't
Mm-mm.
even gonna say thank you because now you the problem because you mad because I needed you.
Right. Ooh, you mad because you needed me.
You
I didn't
mad
call
because
you.
you needed me.
Right.
And I'm
Mm.
wrong for being there when you needed me. See how that work?
Yeah. Mess you and it have you explaining and apologizing for stuff that you trying to do to help them. But then it turned around. Now they got somebody better than you because they mad at you. Well, I won't call you no more. I know who I can call. Well, why you didn't call them
Why
in the
you ain't
first
call
place?
them?
See, so thank God for Jesus. Cause back in the
We
day,
got
they used to be me.
the same 10 numbers it took you to call me. They
Mhm.
got the same number of numbers.
Yeah,
Call them.
that's right. You said they didn't want you to decide. Right. And check this out. So number 4, anytime or ways that somebody may be using you instead of loving you, that your growth threaten them. They sabotage your wins and distract you when you level up.
Ooh,
Ooh, let me give
ooh.
that
Mm-hmm.
testimony. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
remember I was in Baltimore, Maryland, and God had blessed me with my first blog, and the blog turned into an e-mag, and the e-mag turned into a full-fledged award show, which I was trending on Twitter, and I had artists contacting me, and I had big time people at the award show. I mean, I didn't know these folks. It's just people that I interview people. I'm talking like family members that end up being somebody. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to go and celebrate with a home girl, a friend girl, and look, and we weren't friends no more.
Hmm.
And I was like, when I finally talked, was like, well, it looked like you were doing big things. But so you see what I'm saying? Then I
Hmm.
even lost a marriage due to that.
I'm gonna put my little tidbit in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at my grandmama's house, just sitting there, and as Granny say, it wasn't something the Lord told me to call my mama. But I ain't called. I told my granny first. I said it to my granny first. And she said, call your mom. She said, call her right now. Call her right now and tell her what you said. I said, why? She said, she gonna understand. Just call her. So I
Mm-hmm.
called my mom and I told her, I said, Mom, this person is jealous of you.
Mm-hmm.
I said, they're jealous of your personality. They're jealous of your success. Because you can be in a relationship with someone where they feel like they are the super saving, but when you don't need saving, they are upset because I'm supposed to save you, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
where couldn't come from nobody but God, because I didn't even know what was going on. My granny had all the tea. She didn't spill it though. But I didn't know. I just called my mom and said what said. She said, I thank you. That's all she said. Thank you. That's all I needed. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I
Because
yeah,
it
I
was
waited.
shown, it was shown in ways that if you didn't recognize it, you wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the times you can tell when it's you're outgrowing somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you first start, they're gonna be all behind you. Yeah, do that, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah, babe, go on do that. Yeah, yeah, I like that. Go on, baby. Mama's so proud of you. You're doing so good.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you get too high for your britches, as the old folks say, now you can
Mm-hmm.
be all right, but you can't
Right.
be good. And you
Mm-mm.
definitely can't
You
be
all right.
extraordinary.
Mm-mm. Exactly.
Because slowly but surely, the hand claps fade,
Mm-hmm.
stop getting all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then what used to be praise turned into annoyance.
Mm-hmm.
You always going somewhere. I ain't got time to come to that. No, I ain't gonna be there today. Well,
Mm-hmm.
no, and then after a while, you don't hear nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Silence.
Silent.
The
Yeah.
warning signs came when you got all right,
Mm-hmm.
and the cheers turned into complaints.
Right.
Girl, we ain't been out for drinks and I don't know how long. You so busy and all, with your little stuff.
Look, I'm telling you, we talk about y'all need to get on the Watchmen. I'm telling you now, this is some
With
some
your
good
little
stuff.
stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That it shows their face. But guess what we
Yeah.
do? That's my friend.
That's
That's
my
my
girl.
husband. That's my
That's
wife.
that's
That's my mama.
that's
They'll always support me.
mm-hmm.
Not only will they not support you, they'll sabotage you.
Yeah. Oh, y'all better watch it. But look, let me tell you why we on that right there. Even when you are in a relationship and your heart is truly love with that person that you're with, I'm talking about God love, or whichever way, all the love they got. Let me tell you this. When they go to hating on you, everything in you will try to convince them that you look, I am doing this for us. But see, that's
Mm-hmm.
how love different from use. When love is in there, look, let me tell you something. Even when somebody love you for making the money, but they'll be upset with you for the same money. But
Sure
when they
will.
love you, they'll help you cultivate that money to spread. But when they're using you, they will suck every piece of penny you have.
Yeah.
And you don't even recognize, because I'm doing this like for the family. You hear a lot of men saying, I do it for my family. I'm doing it because I want my family to make it. I'm doing this, and yeah, and I want this. And the women now are working. They coming to the forefront. And I want but if you have somebody beside you, friend, family, I don't care, they undercover foe, you will recognize God gonna always send something. Happy birthday, Winrick. They will always send something, right? God
Mm-hmm.
was sending. When my daughter said, I didn't elaborate what was going on, because as I always said, that's my child, and I kept her my child. So I just said, okay, thank you, and I let God bring it to the forefront. He had already warned me. It's warning before destruction. So that taught me to keep my eyes open. But I stayed faithful in the thing that I said I was gonna do with what I was gonna do for it came with us.
Mm-hmm.
And see, most people would think you crazy, but well, God gave you that. Why would you? Because I still made a covenant and I let God sever the tie. I'm still gonna do what God told me to do for is the blessing He gave me to do, and I'm gonna still stay honorable in my marriage because I made a covenant. And if God gonna break it, He'll break it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then when He did, it was so smooth. It was like butter.
Yeah.
That's
And
right, Kim. Y'all to every red nickel.
I like what you said about the they'll take every penny,
Mm-hmm.
because you'll be building your house and you'll finally put the doorknob on. Finally get ready to close the door. And the minute you pull it to, the house fall apart because they done took every nail I put out of every board you done put in. Cause
They done took
mind
the
you,
nail out the two
they
by
ain't gonna
four.
when people use people and this just me. I feel like people are professional users where they have
Professional.
cultivated the art of using. So
Mm-hmm.
now they know they can't take big stuff, so they take little stuff.
Mm-hmm. Get the
Like you
nails, the
said,
screw.
if you the breadwinner and you the one making all the money, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they're just there for their own gain,
Mm-hmm.
they'll pay every bill in the house, but short at $50 every last one of them.
Yeah. Y'all ain't nobody went through that, is it? They are short $50.
They're
Just
short
you
$50
you
off every last one of them bills and pocketed for themselves. And then look, then when they done got on their feet and moving on with themselves, you go home and can't turn on a light, turn a faucet. You can't do nothing because the whole time you thinking that you got somebody that love you and that is
mm-hmm,
able to manage and is able to, like
mm-hmm,
Mama said, spread the money and be able to manage it.
right.
And the whole time, Sister Girl done got her new car, new apartment. She done went and got her hair and nails done,
Uh-huh. She didn't
everything.
win. She didn't win, and it's a song. I can't
My
remember the
girl done
song.
got
It's
her
a
30. My girl done got her 30-inch bust down 613.
right straight from Mulan.
Straight from Mulan, straight
Yeah,
off the head.
look, it's a song, and I can't remember who sing it, but he was talking about some about the guy turned 18, and now you find out the baby wasn't yours. You paid all that child support.
All that child support money.
Look, we talk. It's all of us tonight: women, men, children, mamas, daddy,
Everybody.
sister, brother, cuz, everybody in a relationship, and not everybody you love you back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, not everybody love you back. And I'm gonna tell you this, and not everybody you say you love. Now we gonna keep it 100.
Now,
We ain't always point no
now,
fingers. We gonna have to
now.
some fingers pointed at us. And if you
Mm-hmm.
haven't been there today, you was there yesterday. Back in the past.
And if not yesterday and today, there's always
Uh-huh. Come on.
tomorrow.
Right. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Everything that some of us going through, even these some ways that people loving us or not loving us, some of us are reaping what we sowed. Now let's take a moment of
Oh,
silence on that.
amen.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to think about that. Some of that
It's the
stuff you
truth.
reaping.
It's
You
the
reaping.
truth.
And you hate to say you reaping, you hate to take accountability. Let me tell you something. And that marriage before my loving husband right now, I reaped some stuff out of that. And God gave me revelations on some things in order to be a better wife to the husband I have now, that where I could be more open, more silent, more me. I'm gonna be me. Okay. Huh?
Amen.
Amen. So I'm telling y'all right now, hey girl, what's going on? Yeah. Hey, Pastor Apostle on here. Greetings, greetings. And I'm telling y'all right now, Parisian, what's up? I'm
Hey,
glad y'all
Sister
coming on.
Law.
And if y'all got anything, put it in the comments. You want to say something, put it in there. I'm gonna put it on the screen. And it's
And
just
we're gonna
because
discuss it.
Right, because we don't have all the stuff. This is just some things that we just jot down to talk about. Number 5, you feel emotionally drained, not emotionally supported. After being with them, you exhausted. You almost ready to go. Somebody said today, let me tell you what, I was on the phone and my friend girl, and I was headed back to the house, and my friend girl said, he make me XYZ, but I be wanting to hear from him, but when I hear from him, I don't want to hear from him no more.
It's called, in the old folks term, getting on my nerve.
Right. I love him, but after I see he all right, I don't even want to talk to him no more. And I think I said that in one of my previous, when one of the ex-husbands, after you don't see them 2 or 3 days, you get to worry about you praying for him. And then when you find out they all right, but you really didn't want him to come home, you just want to know he all right.
Right.
That, you know, once they get, be like, Lord have
Listen.
mercy. Yeah, this might be funny, but it's the God and it's true.
Listen.
Mhm,
So I am I don't know how to explain it.
mhm,
I'm the friend that you call if you need me.
mhm,
I'm not a friend that's gonna call you every day.
mm-mm.
I'm not a friend that you can text me, y'all, and I promise charges to my mind, not my heart. You can text me and I can answer in my head and you still won't hear from me for a month. But it's not intentional. But I said that because I can speak for me. I'm outgoing, but I'm not a people person.
Right.
Now, if I'm around a group of people, anybody that know
Mhm,
me can tell you, we're gonna talk, we're gonna
mhm,
laugh. I mean, we're gonna have a good time, great time.
mhm,
Everybody think I'm the funniest thing walking. I be so serious though. But anyway, my husband fussed at me till this day because he said, "Real, why you do this? Why you do that? Why you won't do this? Why you won't do that?"
mhm.
Because I know what it feels like to be emotionally drained. You can have
Right.
somebody call you. Back to that good day I was talking about earlier.
Mhm,
Having a great day, they can call you on the phone, and you on the phone with them for the next hour, and you done got them all up and going, and now they cackling and laughing, and everything is sunshine and rainbows. And then when you hang up the phone, you the one walking around here looking crazy.
mhm. It
Because
be on
all the
you.
joy, the happiness, and everything that you've had in them, you just transferred what they had to you and from what you got to them.
Mhm.
You could do that in conversation. You could be talking to somebody in conversation and speaking life into them, and it's pulling it right out of you, and you trading spaces with them. Because if you ain't covered yourself, as my mom and my granny said, now you don't open the door for the spirit to get attached to you.
Hello, and let me tell you something. And I had to call. I was in Texas, and the spirit was so heavy on me, and I didn't know what was going on. But my sister was sick, and it was just something, just something, just something. And I had to realize that I was carrying a false burden.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I learned. I just learned this, y'all. I didn't even know it was a thing. Okay, that's why it's a group on Facebook called the Watchmen. If you can handle it, you need to join and find it.
Yeah, that's
Why I
receive.
keep bringing it up, because it's some sweet tea in them, but it's gonna tinge you. It's gonna tinge you, but it's gonna give you revelation of what you going through. I did not know there was a thing of false burdens. I didn't know that, because when you raised in the country, and now most of y'all may be from the city and around the world, but down here we are the captains of burdens, because everybody in the neighborhood know everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in town pretty much got a relationship some way or another. So whenever something happens to one, it naturally happens to the
To
next
all.
person.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Miranda says, Chanel always said, did you pray about it first? That's right. I'm gonna put it out there. And Sandra says, some will definitely drain you emotionally, especially some friends. That's right,
Yeah.
because they want it. And I want to go back to something she said about, people will drain you, and some of them do it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
If you seem like you are just going on too good, they will deliberately try to sabotage you. Hey, Denise, they will deliberately try to hurt you. And let me tell you something. Most of the time, it ain't them. It's the thing in them
Yeah.
that they housing. But we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Okay. And if that thing get control of them, they coming after you because they really don't like you. Because you really can't how can two walk unless they agree? Somewhere in there,
You
especially
don't
if you
agree.
start living up and don't give your life to Christ. Oh, it's over with. That spirit within them really can't stand you because I'm not I'm an introvert by nature. My kids are. We just naturally do not just go out and visit. I do not call friends every day. They know, but they know if they call me, they need me, I'm gonna be there. If I'm out in public, I smile the whole time. You'll think I'm the life of the party, but I don't. I don't be out there. But if I'm out there, I don't act like I'm in there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm out there, and I'm gonna treat you accordingly because that's how my father was. But we naturally are in introverts. We always dealt. We our family big enough. We didn't need friends.
Right. And
You see?
and and you when you said that when she said that they'll drain you emotionally, and all the time they don't drain you emotionally negatively.
Mm-mm. Mm.
Let me tell y'all what
Elaborate.
let me tell y'all what has happened to me over the years. I am my mother's child and I am a dancing machine.
Mm-hmm.
If a beat drop, you can guarantee Cherrell is on the floor.
Back in the day,
God's
right?
still working on me, y'all. If a beat drop, I'm there.
It's
First thing smoking, slide. Can't beat me out there.
mm-hmm.
But over the years, I've realized I don't dance as much as I used to
Mm-hmm.
because it became draining.
Mm-hmm.
It went from me dancing just for my enjoyment to almost feeling as if though now I'm entertainment for everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody else sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
But the first thing they say, come on, Rehab. We know you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna do it, Rehab. Come on, Rehab. We know Rehab gonna get out there and do it. But it becomes draining after a time because now instead of me doing it for fulfillment, I'm almost like a monkey you throwing the quarters at,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all feet ain't hurting, y'all ain't sweating, y'all makeup ain't running,
Mm-mm.
y'all ain't
And
getting a little tart under the arms, y'all still sitting there looking cute and batting your eyes, and
you're right.
so even if it's not negatively, it still can be draining.
Right. Right.
So in
It
that
don't
moment,
all the time.
that's where that boundary come up where you say, "No, I
Mm-hmm.
ain't dancing tonight."
Yeah. Yeah, because
I,
I used to be like she said a dancer. It's this one particular song. I don't care where it is. I don't care where we are. I don't care where I am located. Your girl used to get down for the get down. Do you understand me? Now that's before my knees start pop locking and really dropping. But I used to get it. This song was the percolator. Let me tell you something. And anyone from my hometown that's on here, they if that song dropped, I have been in a whole tailgate and the song dropped and everybody out there was calling my name. I said, no, I don't do that no more. I have retired. That ain't me no more. I said, but hold on. I did. Sherelle can do it. And
sure
I'm just
did,
telling the truth. We ain't gonna lie
sure
to you now.
did.
That's one thing. I used to beat them kids about lying. And yeah, I put it out there, beat, don't lie to me. So I ain't gonna lie to y'all because what's the use of having a real podcast? To tell about a journey if you're gonna lie about it. How people gonna get delivered from a lie? The Bible said the
True.
truth shall make you free. You know the truth, and the truth will make you free. And look, your sister said Sherelle you do it too. Yes, right.
I ain't gonna tell that story to me.
Right. So, but it can get tired, especially when you change your life.
True.
Let's put that out there. People do not always want you to change. People
Nope.
like who you are.
So
People
can
like
we?
who you were when you was out there partying,
So can
clubbing.
we? So can we kind of throw that into the using too?
Mm,
Because in a way, it kind of still is using you in a way.
yeah.
Because honestly, if you love me and you see my progression into me, I tell people, I don't see myself on this side of the fence always. I know Christ is my home and I know that's where I need to be going. I know that.
Amen.
I don't see myself out here forever because I know what I know about me. If you love me and you know that is a part of me, you know that that is my root, you know this and that,
Mm-hmm.
I would suspect for you to support it, right? But people that
Mm-hmm.
use you, guess what they'll look at? Who I'm gonna go out with now?
Right.
I ain't gonna have nobody to drink with. You telling me we ain't gonna be
Mm-hmm.
smoking? We can't. So now what? What I supposed to do now, man? You can't leave me out here, man. I need my ride or die.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
need my homie.
That's why you
I
said, well,
need
come
my
on, go to
girl,
church.
man.
You ain't gonna see them then. But
And guess
one thing,
what?
go ahead, baby.
They go all the way back to when you elevate the
Mm-hmm.
falls and all that stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But my
Because if
one
you
thing,
because if you're really my friend, if you're really my husband, if you're really my mom, if you're really my aunt, if you
mm-hmm.
really are these things to me, if I feel like I'm doing something for the betterment of me, my life, my family, why
Mm-hmm.
not?
Right.
But because you're losing something in the process, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that.
Right.
Because
Right.
now I still got to use you for my ride to the club.
Right.
I still need you to be the one that know how to roll up. Like I still
Mm-hmm.
need you. You can't be doing
Well, girl,
all
if I
the
get to fight,
God
who gonna be
stuff.
there for me?
Exactly.
The Lord. Look, so
Jesus.
so look. One thing I can say, I got friends I done had since I was probably 5, so I'm 50 something. We've been friends over 40 some years. They knew how I was raised, and half of their parents was the same way. And but one thing about it, them girls, when it was time, they were like, "No." Prime example. I had a friend girl. She turned out to be a cousin. We didn't know she. We found out when she got grown that she was adopted. Looked just like my sister, like twins. That when she was at my daughter's funeral, people thought that was my sister. They were talking to her. My sister had disappeared. Said, "Go on, Hanley. They don't know no better." But listen, so we went, and I'm going to tell you what we did. You know, Katrina hit, and there was some money floating out there. And I stood out there all night trying to get that money. Do you understand me? Because I had lived in that location, but I had moved by the time Katrina hit, and I still had paperwork on the house. And I was sitting there and we was right there, and I would not tell you where we were because I don't want them, try to get me. But let me tell you the story. And I went through, and my friend girl drove an hour and some, and we stood out there in that line 2-3 hours. We had them paperworks together. And when we got there to the thing, I mean, I had look, when I said the enemy could help you with the stuff that you need when you need, I had every birth certificate, social security. I couldn't find them things when I was trying to put them in school. But I had everything I need to get that $1,200. Okay. And we stood in that line all night long. And when I got to that table and that check was right there, I said, you know what? I can't do it. And the girl, my friend girl looked at me and she ain't say nothing. And the woman said, no, no, it's you. I said, nah, this ain't mine. I can't do it. When we got ready to leave, and these people were still living in that location, right? So they got the money. And my friend girl said, Chanel, I knew you weren't gonna get that money. She said, I just enjoyed you ride because you had me laugh. But I knew you was not gonna take that money. But let me tell you the testimony of that. I called my mother. I said, Mom, guess what? I came on here to try to get that money. And I just want to tell you that I tried, but I ain't get it though. She said, good, because it probably saved your life. Because at that time, I was driving an hour, 2 hours to work every day and going to school at night, driving them 2 hours back to the Delta. Didn't have not now accident. That's how faithful God is. People think when you don't, because it's the money. No, the blessings, I didn't have any curse because I was like, you know what? I'm doing all this. This ain't right. But when that girl said, Chanel, I knew you was not going to take that money. When I got back to my house, and before they went back on that hour and some drive, the girl that was with her gave me money.
Mm-hmm.
She said, let me tell you something. And she had got buku money because she had some children. And she said, it was no way I could do that. But she was living there. So she was right to get her money, for as I know, right? But she said, I'm going to give you some money. She said, because I know one thing. Ain't no way I could walk away from that money like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's when my friend girl slash cousin said that I knew you wasn't gonna take that money. That's why when she just looked at me, they know it. And when you be anything other than what God calls you to be, there is no way true friends would even allow you. I had friend girls, I go to the club, used to fight and everything. And they be like, Chanel, no, that ain't you now. And I be like, yeah, y'all better get on down then. Cause we're finna blow up in here.
They
Okay.
will.
Right.
I'm
But
30 some years old and go
mhm,
home, and people still say, "Bob, what you doing out here?
right. What you
Where your
doing?
mom at?" Sir, I am 36 years old. I don't need my mom out here with me.
Right.
Where your
And,
auntie at? Where your
mhm,
husband? You ain't got nobody with you? Nah, Bob, we're gonna need you. Go on, move around, Bob. Go on, move around. Get
go
some
home.
business.
But that's because they know something. That's what true friends, and they ain't even got to be in a close proximity relationship with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the people that can see in you, that love you for who your people are.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that almost did something to me. People that truly love you don't even have to know you, but they can know somebody connected to you, and they can know the essence of your family and love you just from that.
Yeah.
You okay? Okay, come on. We gonna before we get because something else about to come out. Number six, seven ways that people use to still up. They use guilt to keep you close. After all you've been through,
That's how you'll do me.
they ike you. They
Out
ike
of
you
all this money
down.
I gave you, anime. Out of all
That's how
this
you
money,
gonna do me.
that's how you gonna do
Hmm.
me, anime. You gonna leave me like all these other suckers do, anime?
Hmm. But they don't realize you just had a baby and popped out and came on there and made him a double platinum album. That
Mm-hmm.
your friend girl or your husband or your wife, they that don't love, they don't see. I've been working all day, my foot to the bone. Oh, so you ain't gonna do so. So that's how that's look. My husband know that's my phrase though right now. So that's what we doing. We don't understand
So
stuff.
we doing it.
So we doing this. This what we doing.
Yeah.
No, eat the cake. Yeah. They use guilt to keep you close. And if you don't know who you are and finally get a grip of what you have let go for them to manipulate,
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
it
Uh-huh.
ain't them just doing it. You gave them that authority.
Sure did.
Sideline manipulate. That's right. You gave them that authority to manipulate you. Why? Because you, in some way in your subconscious, you manipulating yourself when you see
Yeah.
how they really are, but you stay there because you say you love them, but really you codependent on them.
Eh,
Oh my goodness. Thank you. I love you. Mhm. The Holy Ghost is talking. Okay. Huh? This not
yeah.
just for y'all. This was for me too.
Mm-hmm.
You so stuck in manipulation. Cause I remember if y'all see one of them podcasts I was on when the Lord told me I was a lie. I was going to church that morning. I was like, how am I a lie? What did I do? Because I was living a lie because I did not recognize the authority that God gave me to tread upon that serpent that I was living with. And I just let the serpent just slither all over the place instead of
Yeah.
putting it under my feet. Hmm? That's what we do. When we let people manipulate us, let people guilt trip us, gaslight us, we have given them the authority, but God gave us the authority when we become his child. We got authority to tread upon those serpents. We got authority to cast out demons and raise the dead and heal the sick. He gave that to us more than we should do, but we can gave it over to them, all our rights and responsibilities,
Yeah.
trying to keep them happy when we die.
Yeah.
Okay. The last one is they make you feel responsible for their healing.
Now listen him. Listen him, listen him, listen him. I can heal me, you, 4 kids, 3 dogs, a cat, and a house. But some kind of way,
Mm-hmm.
it land like that. When you're with someone that is using you,
Mm-hmm.
the guilt and to make you responsible for their healing, they go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
because they normally follow each other. Normally, they make you feel guilty. Well, if you wouldn't have did, or if you would have did, or if I could have said, or if you didn't say, or if you
Mm-hmm.
didn't move, or if you didn't this, or if you didn't that, they always find a way to follow it up with, well, all I need you to do is, see, if you could do this, all
Mm-hmm.
I needed you to do was that.
Mm-hmm.
So now not only are you guilty for whatever they done got scenario in a handbasket,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they gaslit you. You finally breathe on the flame and you pop off.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's your fault that we are arguing because you're the one that's upset. Mind you, they made you upset. Or
Mm-hmm.
they made you pop off. Or they gaslighted you into their reaction to their action. But now it's your problem and you got to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to fix
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something. And my daughter right here, she could tell you. It's one moment in our life where they thought I was cuckoo for Cocoa Pop. They
it.
thought they would say my mama is crazy. But they
That was the
could
moment
not
we
see.
realized.
Yeah, they was young though.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't tell them everything because they children. They was children. So, but when I got ready to pop off after all day of trying to keep the peace, by the time they get ready to come home school, I'm 38. I mean a smoking 44, 45, or whatever you call it. And I'm going ham. And they looking at me like this woman is crazy. And they take the side of the ex-husband. And he's so nice. And I be
Yeah.
looking and I ain't never say nothing different. I ain't say he did. I just said, shut your mouth and go sit down somewhere. And they be just looking. Because I'm on 10. I'm on
Yeah.
10. I'm pulling out the TV. I would break that TV. I'm on 10 now. You wanted it? Here you go. I tried to be nice all day.
Y'all not understanding. I gotta paint that picture. Y'all remember back in the day, this is the early 90s. Y'all remember those big wooden entertainment centers? They had the glass doors on both sides that you had to push them to open them, where you could put your VCR tapes on there.
Mm.
And they had the open doors at the bottom with the big screen TV in the middle. She pulled one of them from the wall. I had to let them know why we thought you were crazy.
Oh,
They have
okay.
to understand the visual of seeing your mama pull a whole entertainment unit from the wall.
Because
But it was because he had been poking and poking and poking and poking
yeah.
and poking. And then not only is she responsible for his healing, but now she's responsible for our healing too because
'Cause
we
they
got
think
to
I'm
witness our
stupid.
mama pull an entertainment unit from the
Mhm, and they
wall.
told everybody my mama crazy. They would tell their friend now when we go here and act like you got some sick and my mama
And my
crazy.
mama crazy.
She
That was
crazy.
the moment me and my sister sat there and
Mhm,
both came to the conclusion that something wrong with our mom.
mhm.
Something ain't quite
And
right with it.
one time, Imma tell y'all this, one time we ain't had no furniture, 0, not a table. I ain't gonna be what? I try I was trying to be loving everything, but it was some rumble in the Bronx. Tore up everything and the furniture. Wasn't nothing. Nothing. I had a whole birthday party in the house, and we had fold up chairs. I said, I ain't buying now another
Boy,
piece of furniture up in here until ain't nobody in here but me and my kid.
sure
Tore up
did.
everything. I ain't got no reason
Sure
to tell y'all
did.
no story. But
But
this was on.
they real.
Yeah, this real life. This is what people would take you to and have people in the street thinking you crazy when they using your love to make themselves look big. We could go somewhere and that person, that ex-husband, would they people would thought he was good as gold. And at home they had a piece of furniture because we told every last bit of it. They weren't
Yeah.
there, but when they came home, they saw it. They were like, "What? And ain't gonna buy none." Yeah, they had a bed to lay in, and they had food. Oh,
And
we had a
then
kitchen table, I think.
on another
Hey,
side
Jimmy.
of healing of them using you to heal their trauma,
Mhm.
be careful who y'all go into these relationships with. And there's friendships. You can't help who your family are, but you can choose what to do around with who, with what.
Mhm.
But when it comes to friendships and relationships, be careful. Ask a lot about these people's backgrounds. Ask a lot about their family history. Because you'll
Mhm.
find yourself in a relationship, in a friendship, and you are not battling that person, you are battling trauma that went on in their family, and that
Mhm.
stuff will almost kill you
Mhm. Yeah.
because you cannot again, me and my husband been together almost 20 years. There's nothing that I can do
Mhm.
to unpeel them layers off that onion. But I done spent the last 20 years trying to.
Mhm.
Because that's my husband. I love him and I want to see him past that.
Mhm.
But then, like you said, that ain't my burden to carry though.
Mm-mm.
Because
Take
you'll
that to the
find
Lord in
yourself a
prayer.
shell of yourself because you're carrying your load and their load.
Mhm.
Know when to say, hey, this is my scope of practice, as we say in the medical field. This is beyond my scope.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with being empathetic. There's nothing wrong with being there, being a shoulder to cry on, letting them vent to you. That is fine. But you have to know when it's time for you to step out and let God step in because you cannot fix
Mhm.
someone. Can't nobody do
Right.
that but God.
Can't
And what
nobody
you
do
can
that for
do
God.
is lend a helping hand when needed. Like I said, a
Mhm.
shoulder to cry on. And you can even sit and just let them vent. A lot of times people want to vent, but you got to learn to vent and not take it with you.
Mhm.
Because people vent to me. Been like that all my life. For some reason, I'm the person everybody want to sit and talk to. But I got to the point to where every situation somebody brought to me, I would hold it with me because I wanted to fix it.
Mhm. Almost took
I
my
don't care
baby
if it
out of
was
here.
I don't care if it was a week later, I'm gonna pick up my phone. Hey girl, what's going on with XYZ? Hey, anything that came up better with that? Okay, well, what we're gonna do now? We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. But that's because I was doing God's job.
Mm. Ooh.
All he needed me to do was to be the listening vessel to let them pour it out. Because sometimes people just need you to listen. I don't know how many of y'all saw the movie Straw. If you
Mhm.
haven't saw it, go look at it because I'm gonna make a reference about it. Throughout that movie, we saw this woman's hardship, but if one person in that day took the time to just let her vent and get out her feelings, that movie wouldn't have been a movie.
Mm-mm.
So sometimes that's all he needs you to do is just sit there and be the listening ear. But once they get finished talking and your ears done burning, your mouth need to be praying
Mhm.
instead of carry. Because I used to carry it on me, carry it with me until my husband finally told me, "Don't you answer that phone for nobody else. I don't care who it is. If I see you pick it up, me and you gonna have an issue." Because he would see my whole mood change. He would see
Mhm.
my whole demeanor change just based off what somebody sat there and told me. Because now I'm upset about their situation that ain't got nothing to do with me. I probably don't even know the person that they talking about, but I'm mad at them. Whenever I see them, we can fight them together.
Right.
But that's not our job. So it
Right.
don't matter if you're in a relationship or friendship or family ship. Be that listening ear, but can't nobody heal but God.
Mhm.
You can go to a therapist. We can go to a therapist and spend nine money with them therapists, $36,000 a year. And guess what? They don't have the power to heal you. All they can do is let you get it out. And then God come in into the places that been cleaned out by you releasing, and he restore.
Mhm. And we replace those the clean house with the Holy Spirit, so those spirits cannot come back and dwell within them. That's Bible. And
Amen.
people don't want to understand that the Bible has everything you need in there. And I was talking to someone, and this too that we need to talk about when people use you, and we're gonna let you go. We're gonna give you some homework questions. Hello, we back. I got six of them, and they quick questions. I'm gonna post them up on the page so you can really look at them. But I was talking to my friend girl today, and we was talking about situations and circumstances, and I told her that the way I am and right now, I knew I wasn't that in my previous, when everything that's important to me is God. You know how people say I can't live without you? Well, I can't live without my kid. I done been through that. I can't live without my mom or I done been through that. I'm still living.
Mm-hmm.
I can't live without that man. I done been through the married 4-time divorce. Huh? Got my husband now. He owed me 49 more years. So I ain't worried about that. Amen. But that's what I'm saying. I can't live without God. People will have you loving them so much like you can't live without them, but they ain't giving you no breath to breathe.
Mm.
They ain't got a heaven or hell to put you in. You do that on your own. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to understand that we can love so people so much that it's detrimental to our life, because what do we loving, or what are we loving in them? The dysfunction, the manipulation. It ain't the person that we loving. We loving the things that we have became accustomed and attached to, that's within them, that call that in the spiritual realm a familiar spirit. It ain't even the, it ain't even the, it ain't even the person. It's the spirit in them. You you can't stand to be happy because you've been down so long. They come along, you feel like you comfortable because that's what you always had.
Yeah.
But time out. Greater, greater. So let me give you these 6 questions right quick. Cherrell, you got anything else you may want to say?
No, see y'all next week. I'm tired.
Right. So y'all thank Cherrell for coming on. She came straight from work. Look at her eyes swole. She'll have them
Yep.
earrings stuff on next week. Okay. Next week we talking about, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it tonight. So Kim Yada, come back because you was the first person to put that up there. That's rescue. We're gonna talk about rescue syndrome. Okay. Attached to who fooling who. So y'all give a shout out for Cherrell for coming to hang out. Love you,
See
baby.
y'all good folks later. Love y'all too.
Mhm. So listen, I got 6 questions for you, and I'm so glad y'all stayed with us tonight. And if this has resonated with y'all, please like, share, comment. Toxicity is real, and yeah, yeah. So we have to understand that, right? And remember that God is, He is all out, all in all. So here's your questions. Y'all ready? Am I consistently trying to save someone who doesn't want to be saved? Y'all know that song back in the day for you gay guy. Don't save them. They don't want to be saved. Are you constantly doing that? Number two, what emotions do I regularly feel in this relationship? Love or drain? Ask yourself that. If you love when that woman or man come home, but you be glad when they're gone. Okay. Number three, do I feel guilty when I prioritize myself? I had that big. I had that big, y'all. Okay. Number four, what would change if I stop fixing and start focusing on me? If I stop fixing everybody else and I start focusing on what I supposed to do, because a lot of that fixing can become distraction of what God had called you to do. You too busy fixing some, Martha, than sitting there at the feet of Jesus like Mary and focusing on what God told you to do. But you busybody over there. I just use them because they famous. They in the Bible. Okay. Number five, have I mistaken trauma bonding for connection? You so used to being hurt, and this person is a master of hurting because they're hurting, and they like when you hurt. So right there, you think, "Hey, I'm this is what I'm used to right here." Nope, the devil is a lie. It's over with, right? Number six, what does healthy love look like to me, and do I believe I deserve it? Now, y'all sit there and focus on that. Do you deserve real love? Mary J. Blige even said that. I'm searching for a real love. Someone, I can't remember all the words. Y'all put in the comments. Y'all know what it is. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love not easily angered. Love not boastful. Look it up. The scripture. Hmm? So I'm gonna post these up. Um, that's in 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8. So y'all look that up. And it said, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoice with the truth. It always protect, always trust, always hope, always preserve. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be still. Where is knowledge, it will pass away. But the greatest gift is love. Hmm? The Bible also said love has a multitude of faults. That's why you can really truly love someone and not see the hell they putting you through, but they don't mean that they love you, and everybody love ain't the same. So I'm gonna post these questions up tomorrow and make sure they're up there for you. Put them in your little hideaway journal, if you don't want nobody to know what the business is. But I need you to answer that. We need to know, because love has mutual growth, emotional safety, honest communication, respect for boundaries, shared responsibilities, celebration of individuality, and consistent presence. Love shows up. So if y'all have any questions, comment, or criticism, I welcome them. Y'all, I thank you so much for coming tonight. I hope you realize, if are you in a relationship or rehab, or are you in a rehab and they in a relationship? Either or, any given day, it could be any side of the coin. You could be the victim or the victor. It's up to you what you want to do. I know that light was shined on things that were necessary tonight. I know you had a little laughter, but in that laughter, there was some truth, and the truth will make you free. Right? So until next time, I thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. I like to thank my daughter again, Cherrell. She'll be here next week where we'll talk about rescuer syndrome. Who fooling who? Until next time, y'all remember, we're on this journey together.